What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski and I'm back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So right now, the 50 stamina and 20 stamina versions of the Limit Break Mastery Point Potion Island are now live on One Piece Treasure Cruise. These are islands that you can run for 30 minutes per day for the next, I believe, 3 days. So make sure you go ahead and farm this as much as you possibly can, because these specific islands have not even returned, even on the Japanese version of One Piece Treasure Cruise, so we don't even know if this specific island will ever return. And the fact that you can get so many potions for your limit break characters is very, very important. Some people are choosing not to gem this, and I gotta say that you guys are going to be regretting it, because a lot of people, even on the Japan version of Treasure Cruise, they are starting to run a little bit low on potions. So I would recommend use this time to go ahead and farm up as many potions as you possibly can to ensure that you do have the ability to limit break your characters whenever you get the materials to do so. So in this video, I'm just going to be showing you guys in the background. You guys can see the team that I'm using is a double Kuzan team, which is allowing me to clear it at a reasonable pace. Other teams that work really, really well are teams that basically that you would use for the restaurant Le Crap Cotton Candy Time. Basically the exact same sort of team as that. One thing that you do have to note though is that there are a couple of little things you need to know about this specific dungeon. So when you run through this dungeon, there are 4 different hidden bosses that can appear. They do not appear at throughout each run. It's just a random chance. Sometimes you'll run it and you'll find a hidden boss, and sometimes you'll run it and there's going to be no hidden bosses. It's a random chance, and it can be a random one of these 4 characters. It can be Ideo, Don Sai, Don Chinjiao, or Hajuden. Each of these characters have different abilities. Ideo will go ahead and cut your health by a certain amount as a preemptive attack. Don Sai will go ahead and despair you for 3 turns. Don Chinjiao will go ahead and blow away a unit on your crew when he goes ahead and attacks, but that unit is only blown away for 1 turn, so it's nothing too major. And Hajuden will go ahead and deal 10,000 damage on his regular attack when he goes to attack. But one thing to note is that it's actually really easy. Even though it is a 50 stamina island, these characters don't have that much health, so you don't really need to worry about building specific teams that are going to be super OP with the best legends in the game. Just make sure that you have a captain that gives a constant multiplier at a really, really high rate and isn't too RNG dependent. So characters like Akainu, who will only get a massive boost when you have a certain orb, is going to be a little bit of a pain for this specific dungeon. Yes, he can clear it, but it's not going to be the most optimal to clear it. Necromamushi, I believe, is one of the fastest for this, because you do have a really high chance of maintaining a 3.75 boost, which is really, really powerful. I'm using Kuzan in this specific example here. Kuzan is also really nice, as it is very easy to reach his 3.5 multiplier. Other units that are really good are like the version 2 Law, giving you a constant 3 times. Same with Timeskip Zora, he's also a really, really good lead. Basically, any lead that has a really high multiplier that isn't RNG dependent, as I said before, is going to be your best bet for this. And then we're going to be talking about the hidden boss, or the major boss, is going to be Rebecca. Now, Rebecca actually has 3 different variations for the boss stage. Her main one is going to be the one where she's by herself. When Rebecca's by herself, she has approximately 1,000,000 health, and she will attack you for 7,200 damage, and she actually applies a delay protector, so perhaps bringing COLISEUM Necromamushi, as I am in this specific team, is going to be really, really nice, as you can go ahead and use him if you do have him to go ahead and give your team matching orbs and a type boost, so it's really, really nice. And when Rebecca falls below 50%, she does a counter attack, very similar to COLISEUM Hawkins, who has that counter ability, so make sure you just want to kill her off as soon as you possibly can before that counter attack can be activated. Next is the one where she's surrounded by the bodyguard characters, and at that specific example, she only has 600,000 health. She still maintains 7,200 damage, and her preemptive attack will not apply a counter. Instead, it will recover 200,000 health every single turn for all mob characters, so that's a little bit easier to deal with. And then we have the last one, which is surrounded by Amazon Lily archers, and all of those characters have reasonable health, nothing too crazy though. And Rebecca once again has 600,000 health, 7,200 attack, and this time her preemptive attack will be that you can only use 1 special per turn against her, which is fine. It's completely okay if you do have a captain that, as I said, has at least 3 times attack or greater and have some decent subs. You're not going to be finding too many issues here. So as I said, time skip Zora is going to be great. Neko Mamashi is going to be great. Cruzan is really good. You can also use Hody Jones. Hody Jones is actually a really solid one, especially if you go ahead and use the Zunisha ship to go ahead and get some more matching orbs, when you're going to be killing stuff a little bit easier. But the great thing is you can go ahead and use teams that will utilize specific ships that lower your cooldown. So unfortunately, on the global version of One Piece Treasure Cruise, we don't actually have the Blackbeard ship yet. If we did, that would be so good, especially for Hody teams, allowing you to get 1 turn less cooldown. But you could go ahead and use the Kizaru ship or the Striker ship to run perhaps a shooter team that's really quick with version 2 Boa. That would work pretty well. Or you could run a shooter Cruzan team. But the thing is, with Cruzan, you could go ahead and use the Going Luffy Senpai from the Rayleigh shop, because that also lowers Striker characters cooldown by 1. So that's exactly what I use in this specific example here. Striker team works really well with the Cruzan captain. And ideally, you want to bring someone on a reasonably low cooldown that can give your team some sort of a boost. It doesn't have to be a major boost, it could be a 1.5 boost. In my example here, I mainly used Law, as his stage 1 special is really low cooldown, and that gives a 1.75 times type boost, or boost, sorry. So any characters that have really low cooldown that give a boost, so like COLISEUM Marco is really strong. Fortnite Kaku, I guess, in a way, he is an orb booster, but just there's a bunch of characters that give little boost and they have a reasonably low cooldown. So those are the type of units you want to bring on your crew, so you can make sure you can take down this stage really easily. Also, bringing a couple of Dex characters will also help in taking down Rebecca as well, being as she is a quick unit, having at least one Dex character on your crew to make sure that you can take her down a little bit easier. So in that sort of regard, Zora will help a little bit in that sense. But talking to other people about this specific dungeon, a lot of people are choosing to run Neko for the 50 stamina, because the 50 stamina version, with Neko, it's just super easy, and then you're on Doc Q as well, and Doc Q can help change some orbs around if you do get some really bad ones. So that's really nice. So Doc Q works really well with Neko Mamoshi. I haven't got any footage of it, but the 20 stamina version of this specific island is very easy. I used a Stronghold Shanks team originally, but I didn't have any Stronghold Shanks friends up, so I went back to this exact team. I used this exact team for both 20 and 50 stamina version of the dungeon. The 20 stamina version is extremely easy. There are 4 different mini bosses. They are different compared to the 50 stamina, but it's so easy that it's not even worth mentioning. Like, it's that easy. Like, literally any team you can think of can run that and clear it. Like, Double Buggy can clear it very easily as well. So nothing really too major to point on the 20 stamina version of the dungeon, but that's basically all I really wanted to show you guys, just the team that I used in order to farm it, and telling you guys about the dungeon so you guys know what to expect, so you guys can go in and prepare a team that is able to take down the dungeon. As I said, it's pretty easy. Even though it is a 50 stamina dungeon, it may look intimidating, but trust me, as you can see by the footage, it is not very difficult. As I said, making sure you have a captain that has a high constant multiplier and a sub on a low cooldown that provides a 1.5 or a 1.75 type boost is going to be your best bet in order to clear this specific dungeon. So make sure to farm up as many limit break mastery point potions as you possibly can, because when adventure mode comes out, it's going to be pretty tricky to go ahead and get more potions. And as I said, this specific island has never returned to the Japanese version of One Piece Treasure Cruise, so this is the best time to farm these potions. Unfortunately, the large potions, which actually drop from a rainbow chest, are very hard to come by. Me personally, I did not drop a single large potion from all of my 50 stamina runs throughout this first day of the farming, which is a little bit unfortunate. I was lucky enough to drop one from the 20 stamina, funnily enough, but unfortunately was pretty unlucky in the 50 stamina. Hoping I can get a couple more in the next day. But let me know down in the comment section down below on what teams you are planning to run for this specific dungeon. I'd love to know what you guys think about this whole limit breaking as a whole. And as I said in my previous video, if you guys have any questions about limit break, make sure to go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below, so I can go ahead and help you guys out. When I streamed earlier today, I did help out quite a lot of people just trying to decide, what to limit break, or what sort of limit break materials you are going to need, and whether or not you actually need to farm this. And yes, you do need to farm this. As I said, you do actually need to farm these specific potions. And one other thing before we finish off the video is the fact that the Sugafest stuff, a lot of people are asking me whether or not this is the 3-year anniversary Sugafest, and yes, it's not. It's not the 3-year anniversary Sugafest. So do not pull on any of the Sugo Fest until past the 22nd, I believe, of February, because after this specific Dressrosa Sugo ends, there is 2 more repeat Sugos, or 1 giant repeat Sugo coming as well, straight after the Dressrosa Sugo. So save your gems. Do not pull. I will make a video when the 3-year anniversary Sugo Fest is actually arriving in the game, because too many people are going to be stooged by this, and I really don't want you broskies to be stooged by it either. Do not pull on any of the current Sugo Fest coming to One Piece Treasure Cruise, and as I said, when we do get the actual 3-year anniversary Sugo Fest, I will inform you guys in a video talking about it and also breaking down all of the units. So that is going to conclude the video, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed it, and if you guys did, make sure to smack the like button down below, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to smash the subscribe button down below. But without further ado, I'll see you guys within the next video.